So this class is regarding communicative English. So today we will learn about participle and gerund. Okay. So there is a similarity in participle and gerund. I'm writing it on the whiteboard. Please see. Participle and gerund. So what is participle? Now when we are discussing about verbs, verb has three forms. One is main form. Hey Jagdish, you cannot scribble on the screen. You are not a kid. Stop doing this. So what is please Sanjay? Okay, I am removing you. I told that don't scribble on the screen. I am late today and I want to finish the topic. So I'm requesting other students don't do that, and I'm removing the student Sanjay Kandula. So what is participle? One verb has three forms, like the main form, the past tense, and the past participle. Like do, did, done. So it is the present tense, past tense is did, and past participle is done. So present, past, and past participle, that is do, did, and done. Just a second. I can make box. Okay, so these are the three forms. So now sometimes we use doing, sorry, in the sentence. And sometimes we start it as a subject also. Generally, verbs cannot come as a subject. Like, what is the subject? Like, I teach English. Here, I is the subject. So here, I is the subject and teach is the verb. So here, you cannot place teach in the place of subject. Like, you cannot write teach I English. So you cannot write this teach I English. You cannot write this. But if I write teaching English is my job. Here I can make this as subject, right? So when I can make one verb as subject using ing, this is called participle. Like this is called gerund. So participle is acting as adjective and gerund is acting as a noun. So sometimes we write the broken, just a second, Kamal Ricky. Who is Kamal Ricky? Okay, he left. Very good. So those who don't want to be here in the class, you don't have any interest, you can leave, no problem for that. So when we are writing the broken umbrella, here the word broke has come from break, right? Break, broken. So here we have used this word broken before the word umbrella. So it is one participle and it is acting as a adjective. So participle acts as adjective and gerund acts as noun. Participle acts as adjective, gerund acts as noun. Is it clear? So what is the definition of participle? A word having the characteristic of both verb and adjective, especially an English verbal form that has the function of an adjective and at the same time shows such verbal features. So like as tense and voice and capacity to take an object in the finished product, the word finished is a participle form and from the word finished. So what I discussed, like finished is the adjective here. It is formed from the verb finish and it has been used before the noun product. So here finished product like describes how is the product, the quality of the product. That's why it is the participle. So a word having characteristic of both verb and adjective. So both verb and adjective, that is participle. You have to understand when the word is acting as both verb and adjective. So this is the definition of participle. You can note it down. Now, what is a gerund and what is the function? The gerund is a verb that acts as a noun. Already gave you some definition. Like by that we mean that the verb, the word that describes the action that's happening, like biking, thinking, running, or speaking, becomes a thing, a concept that can now be the sentence, subject, direct object, indirect object, and the object of a preposition. So it doesn't stop being a verb, but the role it plays in a sentence shifts from describing the action to being a focal point. So here are two examples of sentences that contain gerunds. So what is the first one? As a food blogger, eating is an involved production for social now. So here, what is the gerund eating? Why? Because we have added ing with the verb. So what is participle? English verbs can take several basic forms. So I told you that there are some forms of verb which we call principal parts, like infinitive, move, speak, and the past tense also. The past participle form is moved and spoken. So we sometimes we add ed with the past tense. Sometimes we add like the form is totally changed. So like move is changed into moved and speak is changed into spoken. So this is past infinitive form and this is past form and this is past participle form. So the participle are words that take part in two different word classes. That is, they are verb forms that can also act like adjectives. The spoken word, a moving experience, or grammatical error called a dangling participles occurs when a clause begins with a participle that doesn't modify the subject. In the sentence, climbing the mountain, climbing is the dangling participle since it doesn't modify cabin. When we revise the sentence to climbing the mountain, the hiker spied a cabin, the participle climbing modifies the subject hiker since they are no longer dangling. So According to the word, the participle changes. Sometimes it is speak spoken, sometimes it is moved. Like sometimes we have to add ed, sometimes we don't have to add ed. The form is totally changing. So examples of participle: the finished product. Types of participles are past participle is there. So what is past participle? When you are using the past tense of the verb, or you are using ed or the past form of the verb, like whatever word it is. So right of the bat, past participle can get pretty tricky depending on the verb you are dealing with. For regular verbs, the past participle is typically formed by adding ed to the end of the root form of the verb. The form you will find if you look up a verb in your dictionary. For example, the past participle of kick is kicked. So even with regular verbs, though there are often exceptions to this general rule, which you can learn more about it in our detailed guide to past. So irregular verbs don't follow the rule, what I told you, like regular verbs follow the rule of the past tense, but irregular verbs don't follow it. So there are adjectives. You can use past participle as an adjective, and we are exhausted. Participle phrases. So participle phrase is there. So participle phrase is a longer adjectival phrase like disgusted by the terrible smell. Jay put the sneaky shoes outside. Perfect verb tense. Past participles are used to form the six perfect verb tense like present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect. See the example. In present perfect, you have to use has or have plus ed, and past perfect had plus ed, future perfect have plus ed, and present perfect have been jumping, past perfect had been jumping, future perfect will have been jumping. So past participle examples are regular verbs acted, borrowed, hopped, mumbled, paused. Irregular verbs are these: fought, done, gotten. These are some examples. So in present participles are easier to handle than the past participles. Uh, Adjectives, like you can use a present participle as an adjective to modify a noun. Participle phrases, continuous verb tense: we are eating lunch, you were eating lunch, we will be eating lunch, we have been eating lunch, we had been eating lunch. Present participle: arriving, being, carrying. Perfect participle: having studied, having finished. And perfect participle examples including had, this, these are. Okay. So we have discussed participle only. So did you understand? Can I, if I ask you what is participle, can you give me any answer? Hello, Ganesh, Mahalakshmi, Narendra. What is participle? What is the basic difference between participle and gerund? Can you give me example?